Good, happy Monday morning is Monday, May 2nd, 2022. I'm Riley King. Welcome to your morning news update right here on the Riley King Radio Network. Let's get started with your morning news update right now. First up, guests shocked by Red Jacket Mountain View Resort fire. Let's take a listen to that video from WMUR News 9.
Liberty Mutual customizes your car insurance, so you only pay for what you
need.
Liberty Bib.
Videos from vacationers at the Red Jacket Resort in North Conway after weekend getaways were abruptly cut short.
We went outside and immediately you could tell that it was a fire. It was major.
Erica Beliveau says she packed up and checked out Saturday before the fire started. She says her room was in the building section that first burst into flames. Now Beliveau and her children still processing the day.
I haven't slept. They're afraid. They're afraid of. They have a lot of questions about fires. They're afraid to go to a hotel now.
It was a time the community stepped up, according to hotel guests. All the supplies you see here, including diapers, shoes, even contact lenses, were donated from local businesses and people living in town. Ashley Sawsville lost everything in her hotel room.
We actually are wearing donation clothes because we were in our bathing suits when it happened, and it was very cold outside with the wind and stuff. But my mind is blown how nice everybody is, that just the amount of people that kept pouring in and bringing stuff like food, clothes, diapers for people that had babies that had nothing.
Now Sawsville says she's grateful to be alive. She's also grateful for support.
It's great to know that people care that much.
Officials are working to figure out how the fire started. The Red Jacket Resort will be closed for the foreseeable future. Reporting live, Grace Feinerman, WMUR News 9.
And Grace just mentioned that some of the material donations people have been given after the fire, but another nearby hotel is taking a step further now. Fox Ridge Resort took in 18 families who were left without a place to stay. The GM of that hotel explains the moments after.
Obviously, they were shocked. There were a few that were upset and crying. We had a pretty good line because we had, 18 families come in. I'm a Valley original. So I've seen this Valley pull together in the past over other tragedies. So it didn't really surprise me, but it's very humbling to see.
People staying there were also connected to those donated supplies.
Okay, there you go on that video and that report. Destruction of resort may make finding cause of North Conway fire difficult, officials say. Let's take a listen to that video from WMUR News 9.
At this point, officials don't know how this fire started. The state fire marshal says the destruction was so complete, a lot is going to depend on what witnesses are able to tell them. This was the scene Saturday afternoon when firefighters arrived at the Red Jacket Mountain View Resort in North Conway. The winds pushing the fire through the building, but that wasn't the biggest concern.
There was reports initially that there was children trapped in the building. We did send crews to try to search in those areas and we did not find anybody.
As they were fighting the fire, crews got the word that everyone was accounted for, all 155 guests and the staff. Eventually, 28 communities would respond to fight the fire. That section of the building was not equipped with sprinklers, and some people said smoke detectors weren't working. The chief says that's incorrect.
Shortly after we were on scene, that South Wing horn strobes and sounder bases went out immediately, so the fire burned a circuit or something like that, but they were working initially.
The section of the building where the fire started has been torn down. The state fire marshal says they still may be able to get some information.
We'll use the information from the fire alarm system and we'll look at that because that will, once we can get information off the panel, will help pinpoint some of the areas of the fire.
The fire chief says the rest of the resort remains structurally sound, although there was some smoke and water damage, and the community has come to the aid of the business and their guests.
Truly, you can't imagine, what it means to us and to our team here at Red Jacket. And we just want to say thank you, from the bottom of our hearts.
The resort is going to remain closed for the foreseeable future. One thing they're trying to figure out is how to keep their workers employed. In North Conway, Ray Brewer, WMUR News 9.
The food, the treats.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. Community of North Conway supports hotel guest in need after fire at Red Jacket Resort.
Well, Tom, so many in North Conway, from people displaced from rooms in the Red Jacket to workers in other hotels, tell us the support from the community is humbling, but not surprising. All the supplies you see here, including diapers, shoes, even contact lenses, were donated from local businesses and people living in town. The Fox Ridge Resort brought in 18 families displaced from their rooms during the fire. The resort's general manager says these people were shocked, some upset and crying. People who were staying at the Red Jacket say the hotel has been helpful and transparent. Ashley Sausville lost everything in her hotel room. She says she was at the water park at the time, left with only her bathing suit.
We actually are wearing donation clothes because we were in our bathing suits when it happened, and it was very cold outside with the wind and stuff. But my mind is blown how nice everybody is, that just the amount of people that kept pouring in and bringing stuff like food, clothes, diapers for people that had babies that had nothing.
And Ashley says it's great to know people care that much. She says she's grateful to be alive. Reporting live, Grace Feinerman, WMUR News 9.
Okay, there you go on that video and that report. Law enforcement on hunt for Alabama murder suspect. Let's take a listen to that video from ABC News.
Growing manhunt. Federal authorities have joined the search for an Alabama murder suspect who vanished along with a female corrections officer. Tonight, there are new questions about whether that officer was involved in the escape. ABC's Elwin Lopez has the very latest.
Tonight, the nationwide manhunt in Alabama for an inmate accused of capital murder and a corrections officer. Lauderdale County Assistant Director of Corrections Vicky White and inmate Casey White, who are not related, vanished Friday. The sheriff says she told the jail around 9:30 that morning that she was escorting the inmate to court before going to see her doctor.
And I can tell you that every employee in this office is shocked that she's missing and that this has happened.
Vicky White taking Casey White by herself in a patrol car, breaking department policy, which requires 2 deputies. By late afternoon, both were missing. Her car found later that day in a parking lot at a nearby shopping center. And news tonight, the sheriff saying that day was also her last day at work, turning in retirement paperwork just 24 hours before. Authorities now saying that there was no scheduled court appearance for that inmate and no doctor's appointment for Vicky.
We're very well convinced that she assisted Casey White escape. Really, the question we have lingering is, did she do that willingly, or was she somehow coerced or forced to help him?
The sheriff calling the officer an exemplary worker with nearly 17 years at the department and saying that as part of her job, she frequently interacted with inmates. This all comes as a shock to the family of Connie Ridgway, the woman who Casey White confessed to killing in 2015 while serving 75 years for a crime spree.
How is that even possible for someone with his rap sheet to be able to get out that easily?
And Lindsay, the U.S. Marshal Service has taken on the case, and they are now offering up to a $10,000 reward for any information leading to the arrest of Casey White. And authorities are urging anyone who spots the 6'9" inmate to contact law enforcement. Lindsay.
Elwin, thank you.
Hi, everyone. Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. And that does it for your morning news update right here on the Riley King Radio Network. Thank you for tuning in and listening. Have a great day, everyone, and goodbye.